Hello, everybody, and welcome back to NASL West. I am Borg, and I am here today with Daftgrass. Actually, we've never casted before together, so I'm definitely excited for this. How you doing?
I'm pretty sure we have actually. I don't remember what
No,
it
we
was
haven't.
for, but I do remember being in at least in the same call with you. But maybe I'm a bit
I
delusional,
think it
you
was
know?
the analyst. You were the analyst for the segment I was casting, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
That
think it
was
was
probably
that
what it
for sure.
was.
Yeah, probably. But either way, so today we get to watch ASOP's Little PogChamps versus Bounty Hunters. Both, I mean, kind of just the kings of the West right now, right? Just pretty much rarely ever dropping games or sets. Bounty Hunters more so than ASOP's Little PogChamps. However, last week in the quarter or in the semifinals, Bounty Hunters lost a game to Otaku Hideout in a little bit of a weird fashion, right? So, and had a pretty close second game, kind of stomped them in that last game. They finally came back together. But you think Bounty Hunters are kind of falling off a little?
Realistically, I think they're still in a perfectly fine state, you know? Sometimes you just, maybe you drop a game, drop
Yeah.
a set. It happens, right? Like it's Omega Strikers. Sometimes you just get unlucky in your drafts, your character select, whatever it may be.
Yeah, and we're actually getting into game now, which I'm super excited for this as we see a rune ban on the side of bounty hunters. Gravity did tell me that they were planning on doing that at some point, so definitely see that. And a Julie ban, so they definitely don't want Kainoob on the Julie. And it is on Atlas Lab if you guys on stream did not see that. So we will see the Rasmus on Kainoob most likely. Yep, there we go. And a Zentaro actually on, I'm assuming JSS's side. What do you think is going on here? You think this might be the Zentaro goalie? There's no way, right?
It would be a crazy thing to pull
Wait a
out in the
second.
winners finals over here. But you know what? We are gonna see this
No
last
way.
character picked here,
Okay,
but it
okay.
is Dubus, so
Okay,
we're
okay,
safe.
okay.
We're a little safe here.
Yeah, so it'll be the Zentaro Rasmus Dubu. A little bit more aggressive than, they say, the Rasmus Juno Dubu. Probably a lot more damage. I mean, I think... Oh, it's actually Gunner, so I'm not surprised about that. It'll be more like a Zentaro type of midfield. Can definitely do that as a character. And it is on Atlas Labs, so damage is definitely very important on this map. And they have the pull with the Rasmus to look for KOs, so definitely excited to see how they kind of get started off here.
Yeah, and we got full happy star from everyone except Kainoob opting into that tempo swing, maybe to give him a little more survivability into that Zentaro and Rasmus there.
Yeah, and as we kind of play a little ping pong down there, kind of wins the better of it, able to get that first barrier. Geek, able to kind of stabilize here as Gravity and Kainoob are super relentless here, but a great Tofu Fortress from Geek. And I guess one thing I kind of want to focus on here is, can they stop Kainoob over the course of, Pro League and these last, even last week in their games against Otaku Hideout, kind of just seems unstoppable. I mean, this guy, I don't know what happened, but this guy is an absolute beast, as almost gets taken out by JSS there, but finally gets killed by Gunner.
Yeah, now as this ball goes back to Gumi in the corner, throws the Tofu Fortress out. A little bit of a Dubu moment there as now Gunner with the flip here. Doesn't even need it as Gumi lets that barrier fall into the Junislide Gravity walking forward. As this one comes back, pops that center, and Kaidu, man, we were talking about the survivability. Look at his HP already. This man's about to get core flipped off the map, but oh my god, Geek passing it right to Kaidu. Kaidu sends that top corner, and we got our first point of the game.
Yeah, Geek committing that roll early, right? Just committing that roll a bit early. Had the core flip, but unable to get to that top corner in order to save it, as just kind of had the open thing, used in the right place at the right time. Tofu Fortress there, or Jack-o'-lantern wall, whatever you want to call it there, from the Dubu to block it off. Geek answers as well. Gunner looking mighty low, kind of looking for the kill, it looks like here, but I don't think he has anything. I think he's just keeping him nervous as they lose one barrier to one barrier here.
Yeah, Gumi using that core flip for a little bit of fun there as Geek uses his own to send it to the other side of the map as Kainu, once again, Stagger needs to play his life as Gunner looking for the kill, is going to throw the death touch on a Gunner. It didn't do too much, maybe just a little bit of a scare tactic there as lol JSS. Ooh, he is going to get that with that whiplash, and now the goal open for Gumi as Gunner actually needing to play his life here at Gravity with the core flip, gets the barrier and sends it into his own net with that as well. And another point in this game. Oh my god.
Yeah, a bit of a weird one there. Gumi, not quite in tournament form, it seems. Got to let him warm up a bit. A little bit of in-house Gumi going on, but I don't even know if he could have saved that in general. No one really saw that coming. Gravity just not quite in the right place to actually get it. and kind of getting another barrier. They've been getting these first barriers quite often, but it's 2 barriers, so 1 usually does not matter. I like to say barriers are optional, as Gunnar finds the ult, has the core flip as well, but not quite wanting to burn it. Looking for that pass onto JSS, but it seems like, I mean, ASOP's little politics are kind of just getting crowded, like corralled by 1 person this whole time, as they get a really easy kill, the great pull into the black hole, and Gravity's dead.
Yeah, and Gunnar needing to play his life here does have the core flip to use to shove that forward as, well, JSS trying to cook something up in this corner with that whiplash. Isn't going to get anything off of that, but is going to try death touch it to himself. Nothing there as the slice and dice does come out from Gunnar, and Gunnar with a combination of Geek with that somersault is going to take kind of off the map once again, and there's a flip from Gunnar. Nothing gained, nothing ventured, as he didn't get that barrier with it, and is going to have to run to the other side of the map to heal.
Yeah, and pretty even game here. I mean, cooldown's kind of even on both sides. Kind of great. I mean, great pass there from Gravity, kind of just securing it with his abilities. Not really much he can do there without his somersault. And Gunnar finding that kill, I was about to say. I mean, kind of evaded a little bit earlier. Did not have one for that Oni's blade. And now they're on looking for a power play. ASOP's little PogChamps looking to get this last barrier, but it's just so slow. Gumiso doing such a good job stalling, but they finally get it right as Kainu respawns. And now even game, no barriers to no barriers, but take a look at the energy here, Daft. I mean, Geek just using his meter here, but JSS has that full meter. We need to look for him.
Yeah, meter indeed, as he does use it, and unfortunately might have cast it a little, hits that bottom corner and passes it back to Gunnar. Is now Gunnar coming forward, and Gunnar gonna clean up that play and get another point for his team.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like a double cast. That second one looked a little bit more intentional with that pendulum swing into where Gunnar's EI rush actually was kind of going towards, so able to pick it up there. Not really savable at that point, I think. I mean, there's just so much coming at you, right? Zentaro and Raz as both characters that just feel like they have so many hits, so many abilities to play with, as kind of using one of them there with the death touch to redirect and get that bottom barrier. And I mean, really close here. It's 2-1. You'd think, I feel like Bounty Hunters is providing way more pressure, but it feels like the side of ASOP's little PogChamps is just finding these clutch moments.
Yeah, clutch moments indeed, as they do have the damage. And I mean, if you think of the members on Bounty Hunters, but oh my god, as I say that, Kaidub and Gravity and Gumi all combined together to take out 2 of the members of ASOP's little PogChamps. And now Kaidub on the bottom here, Gravity up top is going to get his core flip in a second. There's a friend flank. Gravity now with the core flip. Sends it forward, pops the core flip a little early for my taste, as he doesn't really get anything off of it, but Kainub with the death touch to himself tries to pendulum swing it through, and here's the Torfu Fortress, and now Gumi to Gravity not able to shove it through. Geek doing a great job of holding it down in his own net, but Gravity passes to himself with that friend fling, and now we got a tied points here, match point on this first set.
One thing I always notice about Bounty Hunters is it feels like at least one of their forwards is always in the right place at the right time. Their positioning is just insanely good. I don't know if that's because they played with each other so much, or really it's just kind of natural game instincts, but it feels like, they might be in one of those weird spots or back in the bottom corner, but it just goes right to them half the time. So Gravity just being able to find that time, find that moment with no cooldowns and just win that strike forward to get to the bottom corner. Very well played.
And Juno especially, definitely going to help out a lot with that, with those random slimes on the field that he can use to kind of just really work the core around them. As Gumi almost has his core flip here, and Gravity using a nice elusive there, keeping himself alive, almost dies to that slice and dice, but is going to die to the pendulum swing as JSS sends him off the map. And now Gunnar and JSS are looking to capitalize on this, as Gumi does have core flip here, but Gunnar's going to pick up his himself, and they need to get some sort of advantage. But Kainub holding it down, saying, hey, I'm going to send this on the other side of the field. Man, somehow managing not to pump the center. I don't know how. But multiple core flips on the board here. Kainub's going to pick up his own. Hopefully they're going to get something out of it.
Yeah, hopefully indeed, as Gunnar, hopefully trying not to die here. Standing in the gravity well, a little bit, risky here, but able to get the last barrier. Kainub trying to do the same thing, but not quite able to find the same value with his core flip. Unable to kill Gunnar off the side with his abilities, and so many members looking low here, except for the Doob, who's great elusive by Gravity. He has one more left to play with here. Uses it, tries to dodge the death touch, but it doesn't matter as Kainub goes down and Gumi rolls in the wrong direction. Not quite there in time with that wall as well, and that's going to be a 3-2. I mean, really close first set there, but ASOP's little PogChamps taking the lead early.
Yeah, Gumi gonna need to hold it down in this next set. A few mistakes costing him some barriers, costing him some goals. But, I mean, we
take a look at these awakenings, yeah.
Yeah, we got Infinite Orb Dancer, we got Built Different, Big Fish, Peak Performance,
The
Super
juice.
surge.
Don't forget. Is he gonna get it? He gets the juice. Is he gonna take it though? He might take build different here. Oh, he does. Okay. So Zentaro, I mean, I think I agree with this decision because actually, you know what? I don't actually agree with this decision because he allows both size trainings to not go through. So the other Rasmus, you know, in Kainoob does take the other size training, and he doesn't even get Super Search here. So I feel like if he let it through, then both Rasmuses would have at least gotten a size training. But either way, I mean, we'll go over it again. Geek did get that Orb Dancer. Both Dubugul is getting the Orb Dancer and Reverberation from low JSS. So he does get something for his shovels. Not quite the best thing there, but oh wow, Kainoob is getting taken down. Maybe Reverberation is the best thing as he just gets that kill off of it.
Reverberation might be the best thing indeed, but I do agree. I definitely would say Rasmus with that size, I mean, it is basically almost best in slot for him. At least getting one of them, one out of the two, either built different big fish, whichever one it is, definitely would have been great. But you know what? Hey, maybe he'll, you know, high roll something like bulk up. Though I can't remember if bulk up was actually in that one. Not off
It was
the top
not.
of my head.
I don't think so.
So still a chance, you know, maybe get some bulk up, maybe get some more stagger going on, maybe some Sparkle Resilience. Just Geek now hitting this one to Gumi, and Gumi going forward with this Tofu Fortress, kind of trying to get anything out of it, but JSS gonna get this top barrier. Now Gumi up to Gunner using that Slice and Dice to put massive pressure, but isn't really gonna get anything out of it, as now Kainoob on this bottom is gonna get taken out by that Pendulum Swing, as well JSS uses that Death Touch to pass it to himself, tries to get something on the bottom here. Gunner on this top side, back to the wall JSS, and now back to Gumi with the Tofu Fortress coming out here. Gunner does have this core flip, opting not to use it just yet, as the Pendulum Swing does come out, but Gumi is holding it down in his net. In-house Gumi no more.
Yeah, Tournament Gumi has finally showed up, it seems, just absolutely holding it down. Geek not quite able to do the same as Kainoob, a little bit more dangerous on his pendulum swings. Gunner and JSS, though, have the core flips, and they finally find when Gumi tried to predict it, not quite able to find it. As, oh no, and then Gunner whiffs his core flip a little bit as well, so no energy on the side of the forwards. And now Kainoob and Gravity, I mean, both low on energy as well, but it seems like they might have the advantage here as Gumi has the core flip, able to have a little bit more defense. However, like you said earlier, I mean, the damage from Gunner, from JSS, and now that Gunner does have that built different, you know, it still is a very, very good training on the Zentaro regardless. Great play from Kainoob there, almost gets it, but Geek able to snag it with his roll. But kind of like I was saying, a lot more damage, you know, on the side of ASOP's little chance, but damage doesn't matter when Kainoob can just do that and just dribble through everybody and score top corner. So, well played from Kainoob there.
Well, let that sink in indeed. Kainoob with that pendulum swing, passes to himself off that bottom part and just sends it to that top corner. Excellent point. I mean, kind of, you know, we were talking about how Kainoob's just getting these barriers. Look at that one. Another one falling once again. But you know what? You definitely really only need one, right? As long as the goal's not open, it'd be a win in your book, but Geek popping that core flip a little too early isn't going to get able to get that ball, and Gumi, I don't know where Gumi is, but he's popping the center of the map as JSS is going to get that bottom one in return, dropping a little bit of emote fun and giving him a, you know, a bit of a Dubu question mark there. Dubu question mark indeed is kind of now needing to play his life. He's going to throw the pendulum swing onto JSS, and JSS going to get hit off the map with that death touch, and now they have the advantage.
Yeah, power play, I mean, 3v2, and they get it. The Slime's a little bit too strong, and then core flip from Gunner, able to get stuffed by Gravity, can't win the strike war though to get the goal, and now it's evens. However, they are a barrier up in the side of Bounty Hunters. So, I mean, Gunner and JSS need to possibly find a KO here, maybe find, you know, a quick little play to get a barrier, but oh, amazing save there from Geek and from JSS to get that death touch away. Kainoob had a great strike war win to actually get that goal, but not quite able to find it. Gravity needs to try to get it past Gunner. I mean, they have the opportunity. They don't have to play it too quick. They can play it slow, but if they play it too slow, they might just die at any moment, but dying they won't, as Kainoob wins everything there. The strike war into the secondary, into the other strike war, bottom corner. Geek's just not there.
Yeah, and Kainoob did something really cool there. He, as the core was coming to him on the first hit, he actually struck it before it was able to get into the hitbox of JSS, and then Death touched it back to himself, as we see a little funny Tofu Fortress up in that top corner. Death touched it back to himself to pass before JSS was able to react. I mean, the little things that you might not be able to catch in those short frames that do happen, but Gunner, oh, almost off the map already, but Kainoob gonna get sent off by JSS. A little bit of a pendulum swing action there as the Tofu Fortress is going to come out from Gumi. A little bit of a big turn, but Gunner now with his own core flip is going to run forward. He pops it and does get saved as the Tofu Fortress. I don't know how that one went through, but Dubu moment indeed, as it is going to come up to JSS. JSS in a perfect position to score. Doesn't get anything out of it, but now Geek with his own core flip sends it right into the slime. Ooh, double slime as Gravity jumps and uses that slime to deter. The enemy team is going to get sent off by this pendulum swing here. Here's another Corporal from JSS. JSS going to walk back, tries to pass it to Gunner, not able to, but Geek with the speed. Geek is going, and Geek helping his team. Gunner going to put this one in.
Yeah, I mean, Geek with that orb dancer, right? Just waiting for that orb to spawn, and as soon as it does, runs up, walls off the area, and then covers the opposite side with this huge Dubu body. I mean, not really much you can do there, right? It's a power play, you're down a man, and you just have 3 people from ASOP's little PogChamps just kind of storming down your throat, right? And so not really much you can do. As you know, they're still up 2-1. Bounty Hunter's still looking good here as they almost get that barrier, but great death touch from JSS to reposition and get that last one, and great kill from Gunner. I mean, the pressure's starting to mount here. It's, you know, maybe they're starting to figure out Kainu. They're starting to kill him over and over again, and it feels a little bit harder now for Bounty Hunters to get anything done.
Yeah, and it's definitely that additive damage from, you know, the Zentaro. Zentaro able to put out so much more than Juno's able to. You know, Juno doesn't have, like, something like Stinger anymore to be able to put out as much. Siphoning has been nerfed multiple times, so the Zentaro really just able to spam so many cooldowns in this game. But he's getting a low himself, kind of doing a bunch of damage, and these slimes slowly working him down. Gunner might get sent off the map himself here, is going to dodge that pendulum swing as Gravity. Oh, but it doesn't matter as the center gets popped and he gets sent off. Kind of almost getting sent off by that death touch. And now Geek with the core flip here, Gumi using his own Tofu Fortress. Gumi way out of his net, kind of doing a little bit of work on the back end, just making sure that, you know what, it might come back. He's there for it, but Gravity actually going to get this bottom barrier as now the Tofu Fortress put up by Gumi to send it forward. Log to nothing. Ooh, as Geek doing such a great job at holding it down with Gunner on his side of the field over here.
Yeah, but kind of, I mean, just winning every single strike bar, right? Keeping it forward. I mean, paying for the price for it, though, with his health bar, but, I mean, does he really need a health bar if he's just going to keep outplaying the side of pretty much everybody on ASOP's little PogChamps, as, you know, almost dies here again. Death touch almost hitting him, a great evade. He needs to try to get it to Gravity. He needs to relieve pressure off himself as, oh, that almost hits the barrier. A little bit lucky there for Gumi as he emotes to show at practicing his EPM here, not quite his APM. But Kainu to Gravity. Gravity fully healthy right now. I mean, needs to flex his health bar a little bit as, I mean, Gunner just combos, true combo, takes down Kainu. Really nothing he can do. Gumi playing up, he's flying. Let him fly. But, I mean, Gunner has that core flip, so if they can get it to him, they need to be careful as JSS gets that last barrier and finds that angle in between Gravity and Gumi. Plus 3 points there for the field goal.
Yeah, and I don't think they really predicted he would try and send it in between them. Maybe thought that he might pass it down to Gunner there when that did come back to him. Gunner having the core flip there, but now they have a core flip for free here as Gunner does have it available and might be able to get some early barriers because of it, but the Tofu Fortress is going to come out as Gunner trying to do some damage with that Zentaro ultimate. Not able to really get anything out of it so far. There's the core flip, and where did the core speed go? He definitely hit it, but oh, it did. Doesn't matter though, as JSS is going to hit both those barriers somehow, and ooh, Gravity accidentally might have tried to redirect that one up into the top barrier, but misses with that core flip play from Gumi, as now the log coming out from Geek with his core flip, but it doesn't matter as Gunner going to send this one through, and I mean, one more set for ASOP's little PogChamps, and they have this first game.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it feels like, you know, they were up 2-0, Bounty Hunters, and they're able to find a lot of those plays, you know, kind of not really taking enough pressure, but it feels like once ASOP's little PogChamps kind of figured out, you know, what if we just hit Kainu? What if we just kept hitting him? And, I mean, he'll die over and over again because Juno does not quite have as much damage as Zentaro. So, I mean, they're able to kill him, find a lot more KOs, getting him off of the map, you know, helps in the scoring aspect most of the time. And they're relieving so much pressure from Geek, so making his job a lot easier. As we kind of go over the draft here a little bit, heavy impact for both the Rasmuses. Chrono Boost, actually for the Juno, Twin Drive on the Zentaro. Definitely very good, not quite as good without dash training. Timeless Crater for Gumi, and stacks for Geek. So Geek gonna enjoy those stacks as he's getting, you know, a lot of speed as well. And Gumi, hopefully that Timeless Crater will help him and not hurt him. We'll see soon as, you know, the what's it called, the jack-o'-lanterns gonna be out for quite a long time there. So I mean, we'll have to see if Bounty Hunters can kind of pull it together here.
Yeah, Jack-o'-lantern is out long indeed. You know, it might be the middle of summer, but he's already starting Halloween early.
Yeah,
As
yeah, yeah.
Yumi definitely gonna walk forward, try and throw those out with that extra special, but you know what, on the other side, might not even need it yet as he does come forward. There's the Jack-o'-lanterns, but didn't really do anything. Kind of scored it on his own there, getting both barriers and shoving that one in the net with a much needed point for his team in this set.
Yeah, kind of, you know, doing all the work there, dribbling again, finding that great pendulum swing as he's kind of been doing all game. And the difference in that point, really, as we've seen in the first points for pretty much all the other sets, is Gravity and kind of getting a little bit more involved, brawling a bit better, dodging some things. Gunnar and Jesus just felt like they got a little bit overwhelmed positionally there. And, you know, when Gravity is involved in the play, it feels like Bounty Hunters are unstoppable. But when Gravity can't quite find their way in, or if they die, I mean, it really just feels super hard as Kainu finds a random pendulum swing and actually takes out Gunnar. So this is their chance here for a power play.
Yeah, and that's the size training diff right there. Without size, he does not get that one. And there's the Tofu Fortress from Gumi, throwing out the Jack-o'-lanterns and core flipping it himself.
Yeah, I mean, as we just saw right there, so much space being taken up by Gravity, those slimes, and then Kainu, and it allows Gumi to walk up and find those offensive walls to just kind of do whatever he wants as he finds a great core flip.
Yeah, I mean, excellent job from Gumi there, showing us, you know, definitely a lot of value from that Timeless Creator there, as now Gunnar on this bottom side with the Tofu Fortress is going to try and do the same thing, but man, look at the damage he just took from that as JSS on this top side is going to try and use the Whiplash to get it through. Gumi going to actually just kind of flop it and chill with it, as now Geek, whoa, Geek,
Ooh.
core flipping it into the rollout there is going to get both barriers down for his team, as now JSS looking to core flip it himself. It's going to have it in a few seconds as Gravity is stuck in jail with Gumi there on the top side. In a bit of an unfortunate situation, bottom barrier gone for both teams. Goal open. JSS with the core flip here. Isn't going to be able to catch the core in time. And pops the center on his own. Maybe a bit of a mistake, honestly, because he's going to get really low and almost die. But, oh, just a bit of a bad angle there. Wasn't able to send that one through. And now Gravity and JSS both staggered. Gravity almost dies there. JSS pulls it up to himself with a death touch. Is going to get saved by Gravity with that blob bounce, but is going to get sent off the map with that pendulum swing. Now Geek to lull JSS into the double rollout, into the multiple death touches, into the top of the net. Oh my god, we're playing I mean, I was gonna say we're playing ping ball, but at this point we're just playing pinball.
Yeah, I mean, that was an insane death touch from JSS there. So I don't know if he was trying, if he actually saw the death touch coming out from Kainub, or if he was just sending it out to get it as well, but gets the slightly better angle, so Kainub's death touch actually hits it into JSS's death touch, which hits it straight in, because Gumi, I mean, not quite there on time. It's overtime. The core is going way too fast. As you know, we see their Gunnar going way too fast with that core flip, unable to find the barrier. But oh wow, so Geek actually dying for it, but does get a barrier. So if they can hold for another 8 seconds, I mean, they got a barrier for the troubles. So I mean, 1-1 here, not the worst thing in the world. Bounty Hunters have to get 2, and they do get it. Open goal now, and Geek just respawns. So kind of in Gravity looking a lot scarier here.
Yeah, a bit of unfortunate there as Geek now losing his stacks, losing those orbs that he had built up. And now Kainu with this flip, oh, tries to send it past the top of the Tofu Fortress, and somehow Gunnar, through 3 whole people, gets it, dies for it. But there's that goal open. JSS might have a death touch to work with, passes to himself, throws out the pendulum swing, isn't going to get it. There's a what? Through the Tofu Fortress, through those Jack-o'-lanterns on the bottom side there. Jubu is a non-buggy character at all, and whoa, things getting scary. Gunnar almost sending it into his own net there with that Oni's blade, as now this center is back up. Someone's going to want to pop it here very shortly, with Gravity throwing everything that he can towards the core. It is kind of bouncing a little far there with that blob bounce, as oh my god, oh whoa, we're getting a little dangerous here as Kaiju tried to pull Geek out of the way there. Didn't manage to get anything from it though, but Gloomy is going to have his core flip here, and everybody is dying in this center. I mean, it's getting a little bit ridiculous. The core is going a little fast here, but now Gloomy walking forward. Doesn't even need it. Kainu going to pull that one to himself there, send it to the top of the corner, and pick up their first set win in this best of 3.
Yeah, start of a reverse sweep possibly here, you know, as we kind of get into this. Kainub had so many chances there. Eventually one was probably going to go in. You know, Kainub definitely one of probably the better scorers in general, especially in this West League, as Primetime Infinite. I mean, I assume most of these characters are going to be going. I don't believe anyone's going Sparks, as there are 3 Sparks here already, but it should be Primetime for the most part. Geek actually takes the Quip Strikes, opts for that. I believe he didn't want maybe Juno to get it, but I'm assuming Juno probably would take the Hot Shot or the Primetime anyway. And yeah, pretty much everyone takes Primetime, with Geek the opposite, taking Quick Strikes. Not really sure how I feel about that, but I don't think it's too big of a deal.
I really like Primetime here for the side of ASOP's little power camps, because if you think about it, right, it's just more abilities to deal damage with, and considering how much damage they're dealing already, it is going to be something else. Is now Geek sending it forward to Gunner. Jack-o'-lantern's coming out from Gumi, and Gumi doing a bit of dancing himself, thinking about walking forward. He's a little scared, but whoa, Tofu Fortress coming out, went right through it, as Geek lost that top barrier forward, but JSS going to throw a bit of a pendulum swing at Kainu. Gravity thinking Geek's going to clear on the top side, throws that friend fling towards it, and wow, Gumi coming out of his net there, hitting him with a little bit of a clown towards Gunner there, as he did flop him off the edge. Gravity trying to score here, passes it up to Kainu. There's another Torturous coming out from Geek. Gumi going to pop this center here for his team, open up some a little bit more passing angles, as JSS on this map going to send Gravity off of it, as now Geek with the core flip. JSS building up towards his. Gumi actually almost has his core flip again. There's the Jack-o'-lanterns coming out as this little bit of a passive dash comes out. JSS passing to himself, does have the core flip here, is going to pop it. Gumi popping is a little early. There's the Summer Assault, saving it there. Tofu Fortress here on the bottom center, still up. Gravity using those slimes to cook something up here. Passes to Kainu. Geek clears us to the top side. The Whiplash coming out from JSS, trying to keep it forward here, and there's a little bit of a Jack-o'-lantern action from Gumi, lasting with that timeless, as now JSS in the prime position to cook here, doesn't get anything off of it. To Gravity, there's the death touch. Oh my god, this round is lasting a little longer than I think it should, really. There's the, oh my god, Gravity not dying there from the pendulum swing is going to save that one. It's Gunner sending it to him with that core flip. There's the death touch, and Gunner, no! Gunner using that slice and dice, sends it into his own net. Oh no.
That round was absolutely long. I think Gunner could have just walked down and possibly struck it. I'm not really sure what he was expecting there. Maybe a little bit of a mouse slip, but I mean, these rounds going incredibly long, but kind of from both sides, right? So Gravity, with Gravity being on Juno, the longer the rounds get, the scarier Juno gets, right? So there's kind of that sense. But at the same time, if they can't find that goal soon, it feels like the damage, as we saw from last round, kind of just starts stacking up on the bounty hunters, right? ASOP's little pog camps with way more damage with this prime time, with the build different on the Zentaro as well. It just feels like if they let these go longer, that they'll kind of get out damage. And I say that, but kind of just 1v2ing right now, as finally Gunner and JSS getting the damage through popping the black hole in the middle. Gumi playing absolute iron wall, but could not do enough. Has the core flip now, though, to save anything in the future. Kind of getting one barrier. They need to get 2 here soon or find a kill, because, I mean, it's getting a little dicey for them.
Yeah, dicey indeed, but oh my god, Kainu pulling Gunner off the map with that death touch. Geek doing a little bit of dancing, throws out the Tofu Fortress, so we got multiple people with core flips here, and oh, Gravity tanking a bit of that Summer Assault. Geek not able to get it, but Geek gonna get sent off the map with that pendulum swing, and Gravity using that slime, sending that one into the net, throwing a little nice little Juno emote. He knows what he did, and that's a well-needed point. I mean, match point here for them in this, and they could potentially tie this up.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, it's possibly the start of the reverse sweep, and kind of just double, oh my god, he just double primaried with that prime time, and because he has the heavy impact, I mean, it looked like a fighting game true combo there, even though it wasn't. I mean, that looked crazy because of how much that knocked back, as kind of, I mean, keep knocking back, winning all these strike wars, finally loses one, gets that core flip, gets another kill. Oh my gosh, I mean, Kainu, who needs a team when you just have Kainu with heavy impact? Is all you need, and size training as well, I guess. Core flip's not able to get it, but gets it with a raw strike instead. Geek looking a little bit in trouble here, but has that core flip, but Gumi able to run up, able to fly. Core flip's bottom corner, no one there to stop it.
Yeah, multiple members of both teams just walking into the center and popping it, and there is a high correlation of people walking into the center, taking the center damage, and then dying off the map. But you know what?
You don't say.
Don't ask me.
Yeah, and as we get into this last draft here, I mean, this is kind of, this is kind of where it breaks, right? This is where it is, probably going to be decided off of this draft, as Catalyst is infinite, which I'm assuming most people are going to take here. I'm surprised the Juno takes it, but I guess there's not really much else for the Juno to take. I know Gravity does not really like Monumentalist all that much, but Glass Cannon onto, I believe, Geek, and then Rapid Fire onto Gumi is the only difference, and Egoist onto JSS, actually, so he does not go for the Catalyst. But Catalyst on Zentaro and on Rasmus, both very strong. Zentaro probably a little bit more strong, as Kainu just gets probably walled off the map, I think, by Gumi himself. A little bit of a double Dubu whatever down, I'm not going to say that, but kind of just getting screwed over here, as no more power play. Gunnar does have that flip, but kind of, wasted a little bit there. Gravity getting hit in the middle there. Kainub and Gravity looking awfully low, but Kainub finding a double pendulum swing again. That's like the third time you got a kill from it.
I'm not sure you were going to say about the double Dubu, but
you don't.
I don't dare to ask at this point. As Gravity try to play his life here.
PG straight.
Oh, PG. Oh, I got you. But you know what? Gunnar going to take Gravity off the map with that Oni's Blade, as now JSS into. Sorry, I'm a little distracted in my head. But
I'll tell you later what I was gonna say.
Gumi passing it to Geek with that core flip. Oh my God, Gunnar and JSS both low. Kainu possibly looking for a kill with this death touch here. Is gonna pendulum swing one off the map. There's one. Can he get the second one? As Kainu now with this core flip, but Gravity gonna finish him off. Passes it right to Kainu. Gets his first point in the map. And oh my God, I mean, could you call Kainu Simon Belmont at this point?
I believe that's what we saw from the chat. A little bit of a. What's the character from again? I forget. Castlevania, that's what it is. But I mean, one thing that I'm confused at here is how Kainub is like basically 1v3ing right now. He's basically solo brawling and killing them, all of them, right? This on a Zentaro versus Zentaro and a Rasmus, and they have pretty similar trainings too. As Gravity just doing something. I think his internet lagged there as he jumped, because that looked crazy. But one big difference here is, Gumi feels like, I mean, look at him. Look how far up he is. Gumi able to walk up and get a lot more value as the core flip down to Kainub gets, keeps that momentum going with the angle into that bottom corner. Maybe Bounty Hunters is warmed up now. I don't really know what's happening, but they're just absolutely destroying them.
Yeah, in a comp that I thought was, not very good, as turned into kind of a high damage output, as Gumi has woken up, maybe had some coffee during, middle of a round.
Look at his EPM.
He's turned up the EPM. He's turned up as Geek now flopping forward with the Summer Assault. As, oh my God, JSS saving his own barrier there with that Death Touch. But Gravity now in the mood to score some goals, score some barriers, do anything that he can to get this first game win. And, maybe the second most important BO3 of his life in this NASL league. As now, I don't know what's going on here in the corner, but all of a sudden Gumi is dead for it, as double Dubu wall did come out there. And, oh, the death touch from Kainu pulls Geek back away from the goal. And there's the first game for Bounty Hunters.
Dude, who is this guy, man? What are these plays? Kainub is just absolutely demolishing everybody, and with the help from the Gravity Slimes, right, and from Gumi walking up, and with those Timeless Creator logs and wall, it just feels like the man cannot be stopped. 12 KOs by himself, basically, for the most part, finding so many 65k damage more than anyone else. I mean, this is just a bit of a Kainub dip.
Yeah, Kainub, I mean, call him Simon Belmont, because he is performing his symphony of the night in this guy. Ooh, I can't say that, sorry.
You almost had it.
I was getting a little too hyped there. Yeah. We're PG, guys. We're PG.
It's okay, we're PG.
But oh my God, look at the damage charts though. 65k
yep.
for Kainub. I mean, Gunnar picking up 60k of his own, but Gunnar and JSS combining for a total of over 100,000 damage. Just the two of them. Ridiculous stuff, guys.
I mean, as we saw from the first two sets, right? It felt like they were kind of, damage gapping them, kind of finding those kills a lot more consistently. ASOP PogChamps were with the double damage comp, but the kind of weakness of that double damage comp, though, is they don't quite have as much map presence, right? They don't really have as easy of a time controlling the core, as both of their bodies, have to be on it. They are melee characters for the most part. Rasmus being a somewhat of an exception, as he does have, that pendulum swing a little bit ranged, and the Zentaro a little bit different, as well as he can dash onto something. However, it's not the same as a Juno Slime, right? Juno Slimes are just there, a little bit for fun. So it's a little bit. I felt like they started to get out core controlled, and without a power play and without being able to kill Kainub there, it just kind of felt like a bit of a doomed scenario for the most part.
Yeah, and honestly, really, Gravity kind of got. I mean, I'm gonna say it right. Someone has to. Gravity kind of got bailed out by that Infinite Prime Time.
A little bit, yeah, a
Let's
little
be
bit.
completely real here. Infinite Prime Time, obviously very good on Juno. You're able to throw another slime out, have one on the field. Kind of more than not. And he really, granted, he did put it to work. He made a valiant effort, showing why Juno with Prime Time is kind of a beast in some of those overtime rounds, especially on something like Atlas Labs, where you kind of throw the core in the general direction, and sometimes, if it's going very fast and the goalie misses it, you get 2 barriers for free. It's kind of the Atlas. I mean, it's the Atlas Lab special, right? It hits the bottom and it bounces off of it 30 times, and then bounce up to the top or the bottom one. It's Atlas Labs.
Yeah, Atlas Labs moment indeed. I mean, kind of the whole game, right? As I think ASOP Solo Podcast is able to use it to their advantage early on, but just not quite able. That third set was definitely a little bit closer, but not quite able overall, especially in the last 2 sets, to really kind of finish it off and use that gravity wheel on, for their advantage. Didn't really find too many of the KOs. I'm curious on how many they even got in those last, especially that last set or two. I mean, not nearly as many as when the first 2 sets where they're kind of both just putting in the work. It felt like Gravity and Kainu just couldn't even move for the most part. So, really great game. I think I saw signs of life really from both sides. It feels like ASOS Lopogchans definitely have the tools to come back, but with Bounty Hunters fully woken up now, Gumi emoting his heart out. And Gravity, talking smack right now a little bit, saying whatever. I don't even know what he's saying, but yeah, he's talking smack. He's doing something on someone's dad in the chat as I'm reading right now. So, I mean, they're feeling themselves.
Yeah, this is why we don't let him do interviews anymore. This guy's
Yeah, no
banned
more
from the
interviews.
interviews.
I had
No,
to I had to
no
mute
more
him.
Gravity interviews, especially during the games. Maybe even after too. Maybe we gotta he's got to be put on the list. We got to make a list of people we don't allow in the video interviews. There, he'd be at the top. He'd be the very top.
Yeah, a little bit. Definitely looking forward. I'm trying to get Kainu to do a Spanish interview with us, and we'll actually have 3Z Breezy, our top translator, on deck, to actually translate that. I feel like that'd be some good content. Don't know if he'd be down for that. Haven't brought it up to him, but I'll try to make it happen. Either way, Gumi's always good to hear from too. However, they haven't won yet. You know what I mean? I mean, ASOS PogChamps, like we said, let's kind of steer the narrative a bit back their way. Um, I mean, what do you think is their path here for a victory, right? I feel like they definitely have a chance. They've been doing so much damage. Those first 2 sets felt like almost stomps. I mean, that first one was close. The second one felt like an absolute stomp, right? So, I mean, what do you think their path going forward here is?
I mean, realistically, they played very well. Again, Infinite Prime Time, bit unfortunate, gives that Juno a lot more room to work with. I think you just run it back. You say, hey, we played really good. Sometimes you just get unlucky. They roll decent trainings. You had Infinite Catalyst, Infinite Prime Time, both very good at dealing with that comp. Infinite Catalyst able to give some more energy to work with. Maybe dodge some more abilities, maybe give a little bit more survivability. So you say, hey, we take it to the next map. We see what we get here as we are getting into it. Maybe as soon as this loads, I'll be able to give a map for the narrative spin here.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit of a loading screen moment,
Days, maybe?
Oh, if only.
Imagine?
But it's
Oni
Oni
Village,
Village. Of
the
course, it's Oni
exact
Village.
opposite.
It's always Oni Village.
Yeah, Oni Village coming in here. And, I don't think we're going to see too much change here. I do believe we'll probably be seeing a rune ban again. We might actually see a Juno ban this time around. I forget what they banned last time. I think it was Julie. I don't really know why they'd ban Julie. I mean, kind of definitely very good on the Julie. I don't believe they'll be doing it on this map. I don't think Julie is quite as strong on Oni as Rasmus is, so I feel like he might, choose to. But they do it anyway. I mean, I guess they don't really, JSS might not want to play the Julie on ping as well. You got to think about that too. He's definitely an East player, so does not want to play Julie on that 90 ping. Rasmus a little bit, kinder to having high ping. But that does leave the Juno through on Oni Village, which can get a little bit scary if they get, a little bit too far into overtime.
Yeah, again, I mean, look at what we're getting here. A bit of a change here, actually. Rasmus Estelle, I don't hate it.
I think it's better than Rasmus
Especially,
and Taro.
I would agree for this map, right? You got the Julie band, so it's like, all right, well, if we're not gonna play the Julie, then we're gonna play the Rasmus, and that's gonna be kind of our pick selection here. Gravity back on that Juno, very standard stuff. Kind of loves his Rasmus, so only change really just in the goalies here. We got Gumi on this Kai instead of the Dubu. What do you think of that, Borg?
I don't really know too much. I think it's definitely more of a comfort thing, but also with the Deadeye start, I believe he probably would have played the Dubu if it was not a Deadeye or a specialized start. But because it's a Deadeye start, I mean, Gumi loves his Kai, right? And you can find so many random kills on this map, especially if he ends up getting specialized, as he loses both barriers already in the beginning and a goal. I mean, kind of just getting steamrolled there a little bit of a greed there for both barriers, it seemed.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of caster curse. As soon as we started talking about him, he kind of turned into in-house Gumi again. But in-house Gumi, you know what? I'm sure he was out to play just for those first two barriers, and he'll lock it down, start holding it down here as both barriers, both of the non-important barriers for both goalies gone. Is Gravity going to get the top barrier with that front flank, and now doing a nice little passing play with Gumi here, and Gumi going to get hit by the piercing shot from Gunner. Actually going to get stunned, and Kainoob sending it into his own net. JSS recognizing that, throwing a little bit of a Dubu Omega, little Gunner hitting him with a bit of a question mark. A little bit of BM there as we do get into this next point here.
Yeah, I mean, Breezy says it right. Estás el impostor? Impostor? I don't speak Spanish. I'm sorry, guys. Either way, anyway, Gravity to Kainoob, the wall gonna stop that attempt there. They do get one barrier, and I mean, Kainoob, I think we'll allow that one mistake, right? We will allow that one mistake, as last game he did absolutely pop off. So, he gets one. Every forward gets one, as they say. And, JSS not really going to be getting another core flip, though, as kind of uses that one, though, a little bit off. Gravity using his as well, but JSS with that death touch going to be blocking it, and Gunner and Kainoob both have theirs to work with as well. However, Kainoob pops his, looking for it, but a great stun, actually, with his core flip on, or Gunner there with his core flip onto Kainoob to stop him from striking his own core flip. That was actually a really cool play.
Yeah, and good play it is, but he's going to have to try and play his life here. Ooh! Geek actually saving him from that death touch is going to tank it himself, but Kainoob with that whiplash is going to get that last barrier there, and Gumi with the core flip is going to get outstrike ward by JSS in that little situation there, as it does come back to his own net, and JSS doing a nice little pass to himself, and Gunner, doing a nice little rose warp there to get that barrier, and now both goal gates open for both teams here, as now it's just a matter of time until the core does go in. Tofu Fortress on the top here from Geek, as it does go back to Gumi. Gumi passing it, trying to get it to Kainoob. Kainoob just hitting it along this bottom. Not letting the pass it, but it doesn't matter as the Summer Assault into Gravity's slime sends it through there. And Gravity turning into a nice little blob there, showing, it was the little blob that did it, giving it some recognition.
Yeah, great ult there from Gravity to kind of stack all the blobs actually onto that one little area, and Geek waiting a little bit too long to strike there, it seems, as Gravity finds it through both forwards. They're actually getting that bottom barrier pretty quickly. So, lots of tempo here for Bounty Hunters, looking for that second barrier, trying to keep both themselves, as Kainoob, great play there, not quite able to find that death touch. Great evade there from Geek. And really, you kind of think with this match, right, not too many kills are going to be happening, right, unless you find a random one or a little knockback off the edge. But it seems that with the comps on how they're doing it, they're probably going to be both playing for goals here. So which comp do you think has the edge, the Juno or the Estelle?
Honestly, it's really tough to say, but Geek losing that barrier there, and Kainoob doing a little bit of death touch there, passing it to himself. But it's definitely hard to say, as both teams kind of have advantages and disadvantage. You think of the Estelle Rasmus definitely going to be able to get a little more easy barriers compared to this Juno Rasmus, as Estelle with that piercing shot does, stun Gumi for about 30 years, according to my calculations. As Gunner now with this core flip is a little bit lower, but on the other hand, Gumi able to walk forward a little easier compared to Geek with that Kai there. It maybe provide some more fight in the midfield, as you saw it right there. Gumi walking forward, hitting it right to Kainoob using that core flip, sending it top shelf, and tying this first set in 2-2 fashion.
Yeah, kind of like a penalty kick there, right? I mean, a little bit of a guess from Geek. Had to choose one, chose bottom, and it was top. Had the core flip, so it might have been able to stand his ground a little more, but good guess either way. Kainoob, taking advantage of it fully, sinking it into that top corner. Great shots either way. As Gravity, working with his core flip here. Geek still has one for himself, so, it's only 2-2. they definitely have a way to win as they scored 2 in the first place, so they definitely can get another one as they get it to JSS, unable to find it again. And Oni Village really is just a lot about ping pong, right? It's a little bit of ping pong as JSS ping pongs, I mean, Kainoob off of the map, a little bit of a Rasmus diff it seems there, as Gunnar just diffing Gravity right now too, trying to find it, but Gravity able to find a strike to clear it. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and Kainoob is back online. It is even numbers, even barriers. Everything even here, except, you know, maybe, I mean, the health bar's kind of even too. Yeah, I mean, really just waiting for the first goalie to kind of get bored.
Yeah, Gumi getting bored indeed there for a moment. Walked forward, threw his core flip on air there. Might have seen some sort of invisible Jakar that I wasn't aware about. Maybe wanted to throw him off, but Kainoob throwing Geek off there, getting that bottom barrier, and JSS having to play his life here for a moment. Ooh, almost get the pendulum swing off, and there is 2 friend flings from Gravity, but ooh, barrier lost from Gumi. Gunnar now having his core flip here in this precarious situation, and whoa, a bit of a death touch there into Gunnar's core flip, as now JSS needs to kind of almost play his life once again, and Kainoob just sending it through, winning a strike where against Gunnar. Geek might not have a strike there or might not have been able to react, but there's the first set pickup for Bounty Hunters.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what's up with Bounty Hunters and letting their opponent score 2 goals every set right away, but they've been doing it this whole time, and I mean, I guess it's been working out for them, so keep on going as we get a bit of an interesting draft. Nothing too crazy here. I mean, the aerials for the Estelle or the missile prop might be decent, but probably go for the aerials, yeah, a little bit better. As, you know, the Dubu takes up the missile prop. Geek loves that missile prop on the Dubu. Definitely very, very helpful for, you know, your forwards to play off of. As Orb Dancer for Gumi, definitely very, very strong on this map as it is very hard to die. Stacks, or not Stacks, excuse me, Peak Performance, the other speed training, on to Kainoob. And Lil JSS, you know, wants to be the mayor. Getting a little bit of that spark resilience is going to help out with the reverberation as well, as he still gets a little bit of stagger from it immediately. But, you know, it's still early in the game, first set, so he might become the mayor of this game. We'll have to see how that works out for him.
Yeah, and a bit of a fun fact here. This is the first game and this game have both had Orb Replicator and Orb Dancer show up in the same draft so far. So no replicating for either goalies.
No Orbeus.
No Orbeus for both of these goalies so far, but maybe that'll change if ASOP's Little Pod Champs are able to pull this game back and send it to our third one now, as Gunnar working on this bottom side with Geek. There are so many slimes on the field, though. It is so difficult to get it past as they are trying, but I mean, Gunnar is just taking his entire health bar for trying it. Wants to walk down to him for this orb, and Gravity gonna punish it for him. He's gonna send him off the map with that friend fling. I saw it coming. No evasive used. Bit of a mistake there, as now Gumi on this bottom side wants to push it forward with Kainoob. There's a flip from Geek, so I'm going to send it into his own rollout, as Gumi doing a little bit of stalling, trying to get something working here. Geek fighting for his life in his net, as what I feel like at this point, Gunnar just barely not getting that barrier there with those crystal knives. Almost had it, and JSS actually forced to use the core flip there as those slimes were passing into themselves, and Gumi,
ooh,
whoa, Kainoob hitting it there as the Tofu Fortress does come out, and Dubu moment indeed, as it does somehow bounce 30 million times, pinball machine into his own net.
Yeah, a bit of a Dubu moment there, unfortunate. I believe, you know, the Dubu wall was still sending out when the core hit it, so one of the little tofu blocks, you know, kind of shrugged back like it does when it's being sent out, because it only stays in place after it has already reached maximum, I guess, distance. It's the best way to do it. But Kainoob and Gravity, you know, one for one here on the barriers, but they do have a lot more energy to play with, as Geek evading there. Great strike. Not getting hit by the friend fling. And one thing, oh, actually great barrier there, but both Gravity and Kainoob flipping, a little bit of miscommunication there, as both wanted to be the hero, both wanted to be the star to get that second goal. But, you know, you can only have one. As friend fling again, Deadeye Juno. I mean, I was going to say it earlier. Why is Deadeye Juno just, I mean, the best character in the game currently, right? That's like 3 kills we've seen already from Gravity, just off of knockback, right? As Kainoob and Gravity looking for the goal here, but Gunnar does respawn in time. And now, I mean, oh, wow. Okay, I mean, Gunnar just finding that random goal. Gumi is slightly out of position, and I mean, a little bit of an Oni Village moment, excuse me.
Yeah, and maybe we don't get that that goal on the patch before Oni Village Speed was buffed.
Maybe.
Actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we might have not had that one. If you don't know, Oni Village Speed did get a buff in one of the micro patches, so it is a slightly bit faster compared to before. And you know what? That in those early game, in these early game stages where characters aren't as fast yet, might not have enough abilities up all the time. Definitely gonna matter a lot as Geek, Gunner, and JSS are forced to play kind of very defensively there for a moment as Gumi almost takes Gunner and Geek both off the edge there with that Deadeye from that Giga Blast. Is now Gravity on this top side, really wants to get it past. Kainoob is just having fun with Geek over in the corner. I don't even know if he's playing the game, he's just trying to kill him at this point, but Geek is going to regen a little bit, but Kainoob is still going for it. I don't know if he remembers there's a core in play, maybe not. Gumi going to pop that core flip. Ooh, Geek going down to grab that orb to try and heal himself. Kainoob almost pulling Geek away from that gold gate and almost let that one go through as Gunner now with the Rose Warp is going to get that bottom bear. Core flips it. Hey, it goes to Gumi, nothing much from it, but definitely has some abilities to work here, but Kainoob himself having the core flip, and the sequence has gone on for a long time. Gumi passing out to Kainoob, but the Tofu Fortress is going to come out, and there's the Rose Warp, ending my suffering, and very important point.
Yeah, I mean, Oni Village, notoriously probably the hardest map in Omega Strikers to cast. It's probably it's one of my favorites to watch in competitive play, my least favorite to play, and my least favorite to cast. I wonder why, with these incredibly long points. It just, like I said earlier, feels like whichever goalie gets bored first loses, as, didn't seem like Geek got bored there, more of Gravity and Kainoob just doing a really, really good play, kind of one after another, layering their cooldowns. As, Geek open goal, Gumi has one barrier to work with, as Gunner and JSS trying to work a little bit of offense here as Gumi saves it last second, but Gunner, keeps hitting it up to him, looking for that piercing shot, has the cooldowns up soon, but Estelle has those long cooldowns. Geek, Summer Assault able to save it for now, but can he survive the Gumi Assault as he runs up, as able to, as he almost has the core flip, playing it on this bottom side. Gunner needs to find this barrier here with his piercing shot, but can just not find an angle as Gumi has everything. He has core flip, he's got the cojones, he's got emotes, look at that XDD. It's just looking insane here. He's gonna run up, look for a core flip, might be able to find it. Oh, gets stuffed by Gunner, and Geek using his core flip as well just in case, but Gunner able to finally get that last barrier.
Yeah, and Gravity losing that top barrier, showing us why he's not a goalie player, as this one does go back to Gunner here, and now Gunner almost has his core flip up and ready as JSS try to do something, is going to try and death touch Gravity away. Gravity going to build his core flip here, and now is going to use it, sends it top corner. Not a goalie player, but a forward player indeed, as he does score this one, drops a little Juno emote, lets us know that he is the one who's going to be putting it in, not Kainoob.
Yeah, these rounds are just going a little wild, right? It feels like every time a goal should happen, like the goalies just make an amazing save, and then all of a sudden someone will just core flip from a million years away and snipe top corner, right? I feel like it's happened a couple times now, as Gunner able to find a good Rose Warp in, definitely very, very strong here, as a really, really good missile prop wall from Geek, able to keep it forward, but does not have the Timeless Creator or any of that duration for his wall, as Gravity stuffs that core flip from Gunner, but Gravity looking awfully low, needs to watch out for JSS, as Gunner gets taken off by the Deadeye Slime once again. And then Gravity, almost dies, but JSS able to take him out. It is a 2 for 2, but Kainoob able to find that last barrier, and Gumi able to shove it in second set for the Bounty Hunters.
Yeah, actually not the Deadeye Slime, and instead was the Pendulum Swing from Kainoob there. Hit a little bit of a sweet spot. Might have actually been a combination. I'm not too sure. Maybe both of us looking at different people, and they both kind of threw it on them. But look at the awakenings that we have here, man.
Yeah, specialized training on the Kai. Like we said when I started, Deadeye start, specialized training. People are going to be getting hit off the map from the center at this point. Built different, very, very crucial here on the Kainoob as well. Bounty Hunters are just getting bis, as Gravity has a lot to work with here. Takes the Tempo Swing for a little bit more damage. I'm not really sure what actually the best move here is, not a Juno player, but getting that glass cannon will help him out a little bit, and JSS getting that second spark, so going to be getting a little bit more cooldown. Actually, he probably will have a ton of cooldown with the reverberation as well.
Yeah, and Geek throwing that Beast Swarm off the start of the start of the round there. That thing is going far with that missile propulsion. Oh, but Kainoob doing a great job getting both barriers with that Pendulum Swing, and now in a position with Gravity to maybe possibly get an early goal here as Gunner, whoa, specialized Deadeye jump scare, lost his entire health bar 2 seconds, and then it's going to get sent off the map with that barrage. Gumi now to Gravity. Pendulum swing from JSS going to stall this one out a little more. 5 seconds on to Gunner respawn. But I don't know what these guys are doing. Gravity throwing the slime backwards. They're trying to send it forward as they did a great job at stalling from the side of ASOP's little PogChamps. And Gunner going to get this barrier with those Crystal Thorns. And now Geek. Ooh. Trying not to hit it. Does use the Summer Assault to try and keep it away from the slime. Almost gets hit stunned away from the core. Now kind of to Gunner. Gunner back to Gumi. Gumi up to Gravity and doing a little bit of passing around. Who's going to get their core flip first? Multiple people have it. There's Gravity's core flip. Going to skin it down towards Geek. Geek not able to do anything. And once again, Dubu open goal gate. And there's a big point. First one and possibly the last set of this best of 3.
Yeah, I mean, Gravity finding that angle once again. You know, we saw it last set, we see it again here. And it just really feels like Bounty Hunters, you know, outdrafted them a little bit, right? It feels a little bit easier for them to play in general. You know, the characters I feel like are fairly even in the team comps, but these Awakenings just definitely went on the side of Bounty Hunters this game. Last game was a little bit more rough for them, but, you know, ASOP's little PogChamps unable to find those kills to really solidify that victory. You know, JSS looking a little low here. Death Touch not quite hitting. The log redirects it forward. Geek trying to keep it forward for Gunner here, as Gunner has basically all the tools to get this last barrier, but just needs to find the opportunity. As Kainu finds the opportunity, core flips. I actually don't believe he needed a core flip. I believe the Death Touch would have killed either way, but core flip just, you know, for good measure. Gunner getting stuffed, but getting it finally, you know, after that core flip. 2-on-3, actually, or 1-on-3, actually, they're really getting that last barrier. Stalls for JSS, and last barrier going down as well for Geek. So even game here, needs to be careful. Gumi looking to run up, but I mean, JSS and Geek keeping it forward as well as they can. Gunner looks for the shot, but unable to get it, but JSS picks up the stray core and hits it into the bottom corner. Great shot.
Yeah, not entirely too sure about how that one actually came back to him there. I would have imagined that it didn't, but good on him realizing that, hey, the core just landed in my hands. I'm going to send it bottom corner. Gumi not able to get that one as it does go in, but Geek going to take a gold barrier for himself. Once again, the non-important ones are down, but Gumi going to lose that one to that piercing shot as JSS almost puts it in with the pendulum swing there. Now has the whiplash here on this bottom side, is going to keep sending it forward. But just the slimes are just sitting there. Gumi's barrage, too much in the way. Geek gonna get hit by that pendulum swing from kind of, is gonna lose that barrier. And now 1-1, both goal gates are open here as JSS on this bottom side is gonna try to push it through. And Gumi gonna get sent off the edge with that piercing shot. And now Gunner with the Egoist, with the core flip, is not gonna get the core flip, but you know what? He might have psyched him out a little bit and sends it in with a regular strike.
Yeah, I mean, Gravity only has so many strikes, right? And as he did just use his primary, his friend fling on that bottom side to cover that angle, you know, did not really have anything to save the onslaught of a Gunner and JSS. So definitely very, very good kill onto Gumi, you know, on the side of the PogChamps. And they have 2 goals here. I mean, they can start coming back. We saw a reverse sweep in the first game for Bounty Hunters. Maybe we'll see one here for the side of the little PogChamps, but Gravity's got something to say about it as he gets that top barrier, and him and kind of trying to get it as Gumi just absolutely destroys with that Giga Blast. JSS completely off the screen, off the game. I mean, that thing just knocks back way too far.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was standing at the very bottom of that speed thing. I did not expect him to go off the map, but I guess I was wrong. That's the Deadeye specialized training right there in work. Gumi throwing out another Giga Blast, not getting the same result there, but I mean, when he does, wow, is it important for his team, as Gravity and Kainu both having their core flips here. Hopefully going to get some communication going, going to want to get this barrier down. As to pick up that point, Gravity trying to get the core flip, doesn't get anything out of it. Gumi actually losing his barrier. Oh, the goal gate didn't open in time as Gunner almost getting that one, but it doesn't matter as somehow JSS finds it through. And we got another set on our hands.
Yeah, I mean, finding it, like I said, possibly the start, excuse me, of a reverse sweep. And as we get into the Awakenings here, definitely a lot of good coming in. Nothing too crazy. Actually, JSS does have that infinite spark of agility. He does have the 2 sparks already, so definitely very, very important for him. That's going to be huge, as he's going to have so much cooldown there from the spark of cooldown and the reverberation, and now the speed from the spark of agility. He's the Senator. He needs 1 more for Mayor, but I mean, you know, I believe it's still in play as well, the Spark of Strength. I don't think it has been caught yet, as we see, you know, hot shot on the Kai. Geek does get that Orb Ponder. Now he has both orbs. Monumentalist on Gravity Fire Up for Gunnar, and I believe that's all bulk up on the Kai Noob as well. So, I mean, he has bulk up, peak performance, and reverberation, so Kai Noob definitely going to be pretty statted up here, going to be hard to kill. Not that, you know, damage is really a factor in this game anyway, but one thing I kind of want to look at here is the fact that Kai Noob in all of these games has gotten a size training and JSS hasn't, and you can really tell the big difference on the, you know, between the Rasmuses here. Big
difference. I get it, right? Because like big fit.
Hey, you call what I was saying?
Yeah, I catch the drift from it, but you know what? What JSS lacks in size, he makes up in the huge amount of base stats he has, and especially
in skill
with,
and technique.
But he has so much base stats, and he's working around with that reverberation. He has so much HP to work with now because he is the senator. But now Kai Noob on this top side with this core flip is gonna send it in, and you know, it picks up in another important point in this possible match point set for his team.
Yeah, I mean, clean core flip there from Kai Noob, waiting out his pendulum swing cooldown a little bit, and then able to strike that in past kind of everyone with the hit stun playing a factor as well. Kind of looking to do a double barrier, not quite able to find it. Gunnar and JSS, great defense there as the Geek throws out his wall. And Gunnar looking a little bit low. I mean, he's been kind of getting chunked a little bit this whole game from that Deadeye Juno, and then from Kai Noob having that size training, having that built different, right? Unable to get that death touch onto Gunnar. Not sure if it would have killed, maybe with the specialized training. Actually, he does not have specialized training. That was last game, excuse me. However, you know, it feels like Bounty Hunters are just pressuring ASOP's podcast so much more. Whereas, I mean, they get a kill right there, right? And I mean, Geek just throws out the ball, has basically nothing now to save this core, and able to finally, you know, squeeze past, you know, just barely by as JSS wasting his core flip, kind of finding that last barrier, and this is looking a little bit scary from the PogChamps.
Yeah, Gumi using that core flip to actually take Geek off the map, and that's really important. There's his orbs all gone once again, so he's gonna need to build them back up. And I mean, considering the fact that he might be on the possible last set, that's gonna be really difficult to do. As now Kai Noob death touching it to himself. Tokyo Fortress is gonna come out from Geek here, and Gumi doing everything that he can here on this bottom side, but he does not feel pressured at all. Look how far he is able to walk forward up. As he's cooking something here, he's passing it back and forth. Giga blasts it somehow back to himself there, and there's the core flip from Kai Noob. Picks up once more, and we are on game point.
Yeah, I mean, match point, really, like game and match, because if Bounty Hunters get this last goal and ASOP's PogChamps can't answer with a goal for themselves, I mean, they're going right down to losers, right? It's not quite the end for them if they do, but, you know, we'll talk about that if it does happen, as, you know, the game is still going on as Gunnar popping off, finds two, says, I am not done yet, as JSS with the speed, with the sparks, able to get it to Gunnar, who finds it in the top corner.
Yeah, in terms of reverse comebacks, ASOP's little PogChamps, they will be there no matter what. And that's the point that you need to start that, as Gunnar and JSS working excellent to get those barriers down instantly, but Kai Noob really wants to get into these grand finals here, as he does get that barrier first. Instantly, Gunnar with the Egoist here tries to use the Rose Warp to push that one through. Not popping the core flip yet. Wants to get the max amount of value that he can from the speed, and there's the Crystal Thorns. There's the core flip. Trying to pierce his shot through, but JSS actually going to put that one, and now we're back to 2-2.
Yeah, it feels like Gunnar and JSS just saying, you know what, let's just play aggressive, let's get these barriers, we're tired of just sitting in the backfield and not really doing anything. I mean, just playing so much more aggressive. Excuse me, my voice is just dying, as I did have a 4-hour coaching stream before this, so we'll have to hope that this lasts me through another game if we get it, if the PogChamps can bring us there. But Bounty Hunters, you know, getting one barrier for themselves, kind of looking for the second. Gravity trying to feed it to him as kind of gets another kill. Power play for the Bounty Hunters, and I mean, this could be it. Both barriers down, and Geek and JSS have a lot of work to do. Can they save it? Can Geek get through? Kind of able to find the kill, find the pendulum swing, and it's all over. Bounty Hunters going to grands.
Yeah, a bit of a size difference there, as, I mean, kind of with that enhanced pendulum swing, stuffs it past Geek, killing him in the process as well. Bounty Hunters now putting themselves in the position to, I mean, they're guaranteed first or second at this point. So having that really is a great boost to your mental. You're sitting from winner's side in grand finals. You don't have to worry about losers at all. You can take a little bit of a chill, relaxing break, watch those games play out. As I mean, there's not too much differential in stats, except the fact that compare Gumi's damage to Geek's damage, it's a 12k difference. And
Yeah.
over the course of the game, that adds up, considering the fact that they got 10 kills compared to the 3 from ASOP's Little Poggios.
So one thing I do want to highlight a little bit is the redirects and there are similar saves, but 10 more redirects on Dagumi, but the shots from Kainoob. I mean, I believe 9 more than Gunner on that Estelle and 30, actually 28 or so more than the opposite Rasmus. So last game we kind of saw the same thing as well. If we look back, if we're able to look back at those, I know we aren't, but thinking back to him, it felt like Kainoob just had so many shots. I believe he had 93 or something from last game compared to like 70, which was the next biggest one. It just feels like the pressure and the onslaught of Kainoob and his abilities is just way too much for Geek to handle by himself. And we saw it a lot here with how many goals he was able to get. 6 on, his stats here and 2 assists.
Yeah, and I mean, comp-wise, look, the Juno just adding so much more pressure onto a goalie like Dubu, who's not very, not able to get around too much, compared or able to save, something that's flying to the other side of his net, compared to the Kai that Gumi was playing. Gumi able to throw down those barrages, maybe land a very random Giga Blast. It just wasn't enough to save his team from being sent down to losers.
Yeah, I mean, going down to losers, they still have a chance. I do believe, they had a decent showing in this match in general. The first game, obviously, a little bit closer. I believe their draft was a little bit better in that first game. However, they had the tools for this game. It just felt like the trainings and the awakenings kind of went a bit more into Bounty Hunter's favor for this game specifically. But able to have a chance getting 1 set against 3, not the end of the world. I believe if they can get back here to grand finals, I believe it'll be a lot better of a showing as it will be, I believe, a best of 5 with a 1-game start for the grand final. So Bounty Hunters, like you said earlier, sitting pretty in winners, already guaranteed second. So no matter what, if they lose in the grands or not, which will happen hopefully this weekend, possibly next, depending on how scheduling works. I know scheduling has been a little bit goofy, for the playoffs. We did have a lot, coming up with the Pro League Invitational with a couple updates to the game and everything. So we're trying to figure this out as best as we can for you guys, the audience, and for the players. But don't worry, we'll get all the games and we'll get all the action. But I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think. We haven't quite seen the losers game yet versus Sundubu versus Otaku yet, have we? I don't think
Off
we
the top
have.
of my head, I don't believe so. But hopefully we're gonna get that one sometime soon. I know we're working out scheduling stuff between teams and whatnot, so that's definitely something that will happen
Oh, it's
in the
Saturday.
short one.
It is
We
Saturday.
we've been told it is Saturday, as
Yeah.
far as they remember. I cannot 5 p.m. Pacific time Saturday. So if
Got it.
you're looking to catch some more West games, be there at 5 p.m. Pacific time Saturday, 8 p.m. EST for the people on the better coast. I had to say it. No one else was
Hey,
going
I
to.
agree. We're 2 East Coasters in the West right now. No one can stop us. And I believe Saya is also East Coast. So I mean, we're a bit of a stacked crew going on right now. Sorry, Westies. I mean, love casting your games though. So hopefully
I,
a bit more. I did stay up till 11:30 p.m. my time to do this Daftgrass as well. So cut us some slack. We love you guys too. But I believe, I mean, no winners interview. I don't think.
no.
This last time was a bit of a bit of an exception, we'll say, and a rare exception now because of gravity. So if you want to bang, you want to, excuse me, you want to blame, not bang. If you want to blame anybody for no winners interviews, blame gravity, right? So you can shoot him a DM or two. That'd be kind of great. See how he reacts to that. But otherwise, I mean, I'm having too much fun. Daftgrass, take us away.
Oh, you want me to take us away? All right.
Take us away.
Look, it's a bit of it's a bit of a night, right? Like I mean, it's for it's 12:42 a.m. Work with us here. We've been told, what, bounty hunters, you win grands, you get a winner's interview. So look,
That's
you're
bold.
already halfway there. You're sitting in grands. You just got to do the other half, which is winning it. Um, I don't necessarily know if we have anything else to talk about. I'm sure that we'll find somebody to bring all of the viewers to someone who's streaming Omega Strikers. 3Z Breezy. But look, a great series from both teams. Excellent showing. Any last words from you, Borg?
Um, I mean, I guess shout out. I mean, you can follow my Twitch over at Jord_OS. That's JORD_OS. I do streams there often. I'm starting to do a couple coaching streams, for the 60 to 80 people, who was watching my coaching stream earlier. I actually did right before here. So my voice, if it sounded a little bit dead throughout the cast, I do apologize. I probably shouldn't do a 4-hour coaching stream before a 2-hour cast. But either way, you can follow me there. And where can they see you, Daft?
Oh, twitch.tv/daftgrass. I never stream. You can follow my Twitter. I never tweet. I don't really have anything else to shout out outside of those. If you are interested, East Side Bracket, Finesse, Core Overflow, loot. Well, wait. It's not. No. Finesse and Core Overflow winners semis, right? I'm not being delusional here. Uh, losers semis.
Yeah,
Okay.
losers.
Sorry, I guess I am being a little delusional.
It's okay.
Losers
You just came
semis.
back from vacation. Got the Hawaiian
A
shirt
little
on.
bit of hey, it's a vacation debuff. My fault. Tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern time. Be there or don't be there at all. Look, it's up to you guys. If
Come
you
watch.
are interested, do exclamation point YouTube. By the way, we do have VODs of all of our matches here. I know that they're getting uploaded. I think almost all of them have been uploaded. All of those off-stream matches that you might have not been able to see. Once again, exclamation point YouTube. Best. I think it's like youtube.com/bestie in slot. Check them out if you're interested in some more player play. And I know they're very late, but you know what? We are very organized. So if you have anything, I think that's about it for us.
That's about.
Uh, we're gonna find someone to raid once again. 3Z Breezy, smiley face. Yeah, that's it from us.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for watching. Appreciate it later. And I mean, see you guys next time.